Hello everyone, my name is David. Today we are going to take a look at another horrible case with you. The date was December 4th, 2024, and in the bustling capital of India, Delhi, a small family of a retired army officer lived in the Neb Sarai locality. Delhi is often called the city that never sleeps because people here work day and night, either to fulfill their dreams or to provide 3 proper meals for their families. One such big dream was that of retired army officer Rajesh Kumar's son Arjun, who wanted to become a professional boxer. Apart from him, his sister Kavita also lived in the house, and both siblings were still pursuing their college education. On December 4th, 2024, 51-year-old retired army officer Rajesh Kumar and his 46-year-old wife Komal were celebrating their wedding anniversary. However, Arjun had a habit of waking up at 5 a.m. every day and undergoing an hour to an hour and a half of intense training at the gym after a morning walk. So, on December 4th, he woke up at 5 a.m. as usual. First, he went to the kitchen to drink some water, then headed to the bathroom to brush his teeth. After that, he packed his gym bag and, before leaving the house, went to his parents' bedroom to wish them a happy wedding anniversary. Around 5:30 a.m., he left for the gym on foot. As part of his routine, Arjun jogged to the gym first and then trained there. Once his gym session was complete, he returned home at around 6:45 a.m. As he opened the door and stepped inside, he let out a loud scream and rushed back outside. He then began crying uncontrollably, and his screams and sobs drew the attention of his neighbors, who gathered around him. When they asked what had happened, he, still in tears, told them that he had just returned from the gym and found the blood-soaked bodies of his parents and sister. Hearing this, the neighbors were shocked, as dawn was just breaking and the sun was about to rise. Seeing the 3 dead bodies, everyone wondered who could have committed such a gruesome act in the early morning light. One of the neighbors immediately called the police, and the officer who received the call was equally stunned upon hearing about the triple murder. However, upon learning of the crime, the police sprang into action and arrived at the crime scene within minutes. At first glance, the police suspected that the killer had murdered Rajesh Kumar, his wife Komal, and their daughter Kavita while they were asleep, as all their bodies were found lying on their respective beds. Looking at the scene, the officers believed that Arjun had unknowingly escaped death simply because he had left for the gym early. Otherwise, he too might have been killed. The police then sealed off the house with crime scene tape and began their investigation. However, before the Neb Sarai police could even call forensic experts to the crime scene, they realized that nothing valuable was missing from the house. Everything was in its place. This confirmed that no robbery had taken place, which was a shocking revelation for the police. But now the question was, who committed these 3 murders? To find out, the police interrogated some neighbors and Arjun himself. The police asked the neighbors if they had seen anyone enter the house that morning. However, most of Arjun's neighbors were still asleep at that time, and those who had woken up early said they had not seen any stranger enter the house with their own eyes. Additionally, the police asked Arjun some personal questions, such as what time they had gone to bed last night and what time Arjun had left for the gym in the morning. In response, Arjun told the police that his father had been in the army, so they all had instilled the habit of sleeping early from the very beginning. Because of that, they had all gone to bed early the previous night after dinner. Moreover, Arjun had to wake up early for the gym, so he had also gone to bed early and left for the gym at 5:30 a.m. However, Arjun also told the police that before leaving the house, he had seen his parents alive and had wished them a happy wedding anniversary. Hearing this, the police were even more shocked because Arjun had left home for the gym at 5:30 a.m. and returned by 6:45 a.m. after completing his session. The surprising part was that there was only a 1-hour and 15-minute gap during this time period. In such a short span, someone had entered the house, murdered all 3 family members while they were sleeping, and escaped without anyone noticing. To clear all doubts, the police decided to check all the CCTV cameras installed around Rajesh Kumar's house. Coincidentally, some of the neighbors' cameras were angled toward Rajesh Kumar's house, clearly showing the main gate. The police first reviewed the footage from these cameras. From this, they learned that from 10 p.m. on December 3rd to 6:45 a.m. on December 4th, no stranger had entered or exited the house. The only person seen leaving was Arjun at 5:30 a.m. for the gym, and he returned home at 6:45 a.m. After watching the CCTV footage, the police realized that 4 people were inside the house during the incident. 3 were now dead, and the only person who had gone out was alive. This made the police highly suspicious of Arjun, making them believe he was the one who had killed his parents and sister. However, they also knew that accusing Arjun of such a serious crime based solely on CCTV footage would not be justified. Moreover, if they arrested him too quickly in such an emotionally charged situation, his neighbors and relatives could retaliate against the police. So they decided to be patient and started gathering more concrete evidence along with the CCTV footage. During this process, the police discreetly questioned Rajesh Kumar's neighbors and some relatives about Arjun's relationship with his family. Through this inquiry, they learned that Arjun was not a bad person, but his parents, especially his father, used to scold him frequently. The reason behind this was Arjun's lack of interest in academics. Due to this, Rajesh Kumar had even beaten him on several occasions. Kavita, on the other hand, had always been academically gifted, while Arjun was more inclined towards sports than studies. It is often observed that most girls excel in academics, whereas boys tend to take a greater interest in sports. Since childhood, Arjun had only one passion: to become a professional boxer one day. He worked hard toward this goal, and as a result, he won 2 to 3 silver medals at the state level during his high school and even college years. In fact, it was because of boxing that he secured admission to Delhi University through the sports quota. However, as a father and an army officer, Rajesh Kumar wanted Arjun to take his studies seriously like his sister. Being a retired army officer, Rajesh Kumar wanted Arjun to join the army as well. He often told him that if he didn't want to be in the army, he should focus on his studies and secure a good job. But Rajesh Kumar never supported his son's boxing aspirations. Rajesh Kumar was a brave Indian officer who had even served as a commando in the Special Protection Group, SPG, for some time. The SPG is India's elite security force responsible solely for protecting the Prime Minister and, in some cases, their family. Since the Prime Minister is the most important person in the country, SPG commandos undergo rigorous training and only a select few qualify to join this armed force. However, in the final months of 2017, Rajesh Kumar retired from the Indian Army. Since childhood, he had always motivated both of his children, his elder daughter Kavita and his younger son, Arjun, to focus on their studies. After his retirement, Rajesh Kumar devoted his full attention to Arjun, as he was now completely free from duty. However, there was a stark difference between Arjun and his sister. While Kavita always scored high in her exams, Arjun remained focused on sports, even in school. But as time passed and Arjun grew older, he started noticing that neither of his parents ever scolded his sister. The reason behind this was that Kavita never gave them a reason to, as she completed every task without complaints. Over time, Arjun grew up in this environment, but his father's attitude toward him never changed. After learning all these details, the police decided to interrogate Arjun, as CCTV footage clearly showed that no one except him had entered their house on the night between December 3rd and 4. On the evening of December 4th, the Neb Sarai police took Arjun to the police station and began questioning him. However, they didn't have to push too hard. Arjun soon started narrating his own story. But if you have a weak heart, you may want to stop watching this video here, because what Arjun revealed during the interrogation was a story that would shake any parent to their core. Arjun revealed that he and his older sister had a 3-year age gap. At the time of the triple murder, Arjun was 20 years old and his sister was 23. Since childhood, Kavita had been very sincere and excelled in her studies, which led their parents to love her more. On the other hand, Arjun, who didn't focus on academics, spent more time with friends and prioritized boxing, was often scolded by his parents. As he grew up in this environment, he always felt that his parents loved his sister more than him. Apart from this, since the final days of school, Arjun had been interested in boxing, but his father, Rajesh Kumar, believed that boxing didn't have much scope in their country. That's why he wanted Arjun to focus on his studies, join the army like him, or secure a good job. However, Arjun refused to follow his father's wishes, which often led to him getting scolded and at times even beaten by his father. Yes, even at the age of 20, Arjun's father would raise his hand against him on multiple occasions, though everything was still running normally. But then came December 2nd, 2024. This day was special because it was the 23rd birthday of Arjun's sister, Kavita. Since Kavita was the beloved daughter of her parents, Rajesh Kumar had invited almost all their relatives who lived nearby to the celebration. He even invited all their neighbors. Additionally, a musical program was arranged at home, and a large cake was ordered for Kavita's birthday. Everyone who attended the party brought gifts for her. One by one, they all wished Kavita a happy birthday and presented her with beautiful gifts. But amid the celebration, a gloomy Arjun was silently noticing how much love and attention everyone was showering upon his sister. Meanwhile, Rajesh Kumar had assigned Arjun a task, but Arjun didn't complete it properly. As a result, even on his sister's birthday, Arjun was scolded by his father, and this time Rajesh Kumar went so far as to slap him in front of some relatives. This incident hurt Arjun deeply, making him feel that his father was being unfair to him. He had already begun to feel jealous of his sister because all the attention at the party was focused on Kavita. Frustrated, Arjun left the party midway and went to his room, where he sat in a corner and cried. But the most terrifying thought had yet to enter his mind. The slap he received from his father in front of relatives wounded Arjun so much that, on the night of December 2nd, he decided he would kill his father. The very idea is terrifying. How could a son even think of murdering the father who once held his hand to teach him how to walk and always looked after his well-being? But after such a horrifying thought, how could anyone sleep? Lying on his bed, Arjun kept thinking about when and how he would kill his father. However, at that moment, another thought struck him. If he killed only his father, his mother would inevitably grow to hate him. Even his own family and relatives would cut all ties with him. So he made up his mind to kill his mother as well. Now, he was determined to commit not one but 2 murders. But the question still remained. When would he do it? After thinking for a while, he finalized the date, December 4th. He chose the night between December 3rd and 4th to kill his parents. But why did Arjun specifically choose December 4th? There was a reason behind that as well. On December 4th, Rajesh Kumar and his wife Komal were celebrating their wedding anniversary. Arjun believed that since his parents had caused him so much trouble, he should end their lives on the same date they got married. A deranged killer planning to murder his parents on his sister's birthday had chosen their wedding anniversary for the act. Then came December 3rd, 2024. That morning, Arjun woke up early and followed his usual routine. He even had breakfast with his parents and behaved normally with his sister, just as he did every day. No one had the slightest clue about the horrifying thoughts running through his mind. Throughout December 3rd, Arjun kept thinking about the best way to kill his parents. However, he was also aware that his father had served in the Indian Army for several years and had even been part of the Special Protection Group, making it extremely difficult to overpower him. That's why he began considering a method that would leave his father with no chance to defend himself. It was then that he remembered his father had an army-issued knife, which was razor-sharp. He decided that when Rajesh Kumar was in deep sleep, he would strike his throat with such force that he wouldn't even have the chance to struggle. When the opportunity arose on December 3rd, Arjun quietly went into his father's room, took the army knife and hid it in his own room. After that, he waited for nightfall and for the entire day to pass. As soon as the sun began to set, Arjun's mother, Komal, started preparing dinner. Around 9 p.m. they all had dinner, and by 10 p.m. everyone had gone to their respective rooms to sleep. Since Rajesh Kumar had served in the army, Arjun knew that his parents and sister usually slept early. Arjun and his sister Kavita's room were on the ground floor of their house, while their parents slept in a room on the first floor. That night, Rajesh Kumar, his wife Komal, and their daughter Kavita fell asleep early. But Arjun didn't get a wink of sleep. By this time, he had also planned how to kill his parents and escape the police. Like most killers, he believed he would never be caught. But then, while lying in bed, a thought suddenly struck him. Once his parents were dead, their entire property and wealth would be divided between him and his sister. In other words, even after killing his parents, his sister Kavita would still inherit half of their estate. That's when Arjun decided that if he killed his sister as well, he would become the sole heir to everything. Driven by greed, Arjun now resolved to kill his sister first, as she was sleeping on the ground floor. Around 3:50 a.m. on December 4th, when everyone was in deep sleep, he silently took the army knife and crept into his sister's room. Kavita was sound asleep, and taking full advantage of the moment, he slit her throat with the knife. He then stood there for a few minutes, and once he was certain she was dead, he left the room. Quietly, without making a sound, he climbed the stairs toward his parents' bedroom. But as soon as he opened the door, he saw that only his father was sleeping on the bed. But when Arjun paid attention, he noticed that the bathroom light was on, and seeing this, he realized that his mother was inside. Arjun took advantage of the moment and quickly tiptoed to his father, who was sleeping on the bed. Then he took his father's army knife and slashed it across his father's throat with force. The attack was so lethal that Rajesh Kumar didn't even get a chance to struggle. Within seconds, he took his last breath. By now, Arjun had already committed 2 murders, and the last one remaining was his mother. So he stood quietly outside the bathroom door, waiting for her to come out. A few seconds later, as soon as his mother stepped out, he swiftly slashed her throat with the knife he was holding. Now, Arjun had killed all 3 members of his family. However, out of fear, he checked his parents' and sister's pulse and heartbeat again. Once he was certain that they were all dead, he went to his room and waited for the morning. At 5:30 a.m., he put his blood-stained clothes in his gym bag and left the house. A short distance from their home, there was a small river. Under the pretense of a morning walk, Arjun went there and threw his clothes into the bushes. Then he headed straight to the gym and spent about 40 to 50 minutes there. At 6:45 a.m., he returned home and put on an act of screaming and crying. But in the end, Arjun was caught within 24 hours of murdering his 3 family members. Since this case is recent, there are no updates on the internet regarding the killer's sentencing yet. The trial is probably still ongoing, but if there are any updates in the future, we will definitely share them in a community post on the David True Crime channel. Lastly, I just want to say that no parent discriminates between their children. Sometimes certain children may receive more affection, but that does not mean parents love their other children any less. The real question is, how can a mother who carries her child in her womb for 9 months, enduring all kinds of pain, ever discriminate against them? And how can a father who holds his child's hand to help them walk and takes full responsibility for the family ever show favoritism? In the end, what are your thoughts on the twisted mentality of this family killer, Arjun? Let us know in the comments. So with that, the Delhi triple murder case comes to an end right here. If you appreciate our efforts, like and share this video. If you haven't subscribed, do so now. Thank you.